Hey everybody, how you doing? Mark here. Going on a hike today on a trail that we haven't been to for a while, and that's the Glacial Drumlin Trail. Now this is an old train line system that was decommissioned years ago, and a organization called Rails to Trails acquired the property, and they turn them into hiking trails. And there are several of them here in the state. And in fact, most of our state hiking trails are rail-to-trail systems. But where I am today, right back there is State Highway 73, and that is where we ended last time when we were on this trail. And we are in the small town of Deerfield. And we are just going to go about 3.5 miles down to the next town, and that is the town of London. It is a cold, damp morning today. Temperatures are hovering below 40. I think we're sitting at about 38 or so. Slight breeze blowing, not too hard, not at all. I mean, we're talking probably 5-mile-an-hour gusts. So everything is pretty much under that wind speed. Okay, I think that was a dog. Oh, that's so cool. Right up there you can see some concrete formations. Huh. Yeah, I can see there's concrete down here, all through here. There are some steps right there. Huh, that's interesting. I wonder what that was. Well, probably something for the train line. That's cool. I love coming across stuff like that. Anyway, we were talking about the weather. It is cold. Just a very, very light breeze. We had a huge Arctic blast come down, and we got to like negative 35 just like a week ago. And we had a bunch of snow, but then all of a sudden we get hit with a warm blast from the south, but with it came a lot of humidity as well. So you take that cold, frozen earth, put warm, damp air over it, and it's foggy. That's basically what you get. Now, luckily, it's late morning. It's starting to warm up just a little bit. So, for the most part, the fog has lifted. Still quite cloudy, but as you can see, there's a few open spots up in the sky, so you can see actually blue sky up there. So yeah, after that Arctic blast that we had, and then a little bit of snowfall, probably about maybe close to 6 inches, then the warm spell that we had, so there's almost no snow left. And the trail, of course, is all wet. So that'd be a decent day today. I mean, the trail, these old train lines, they got very good drainage for the most part. You know, the ground is well packed and everything. So water, for the most part, just runs right off. Now, when we had the snow, of course, snowmobiles came out here. And that's what a lot of the depressions are in the trail, are from snowmobiles and ATVs and stuff like that. But we'll pay those no mind, all right? I'm in no big hurry today. I've got no plans to have to go back and, make sure Jen has her car to go to work, or have to meet up with friends later on tonight for dinner or anything like that. Just going to be a nice leisurely walk. Got a ball field and park over here. Really nice. I don't recall seeing any playground equipment. It's just a couple of ball fields over here. And it looks like a dog park over here. A couple of people walking around over there with their animals. All right, we're pretty much on the outskirts of town. We got a little bit of a semi-truck maintenance company over here, it looks like. As you can tell, I have no puppy dog with me today, and it's simply because I just wanted to get out and be by myself for a little while. You know, going through the holidays, you know, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, I'm just always around people. Always, always, always. You know, party after party after party, dinner after dinner. And it's like, I just need some alone time. I didn't want anybody else here. If you guys have seen this video here, that's just over my shoulder, I've talked a little bit about what to expect in 2023. I just want to elaborate on a few things. A few people have asked some questions and made comments and stuff. So I just want to tell you what to expect of me in 2023. The first thing is, I am still hiking. I am still doing motorcycle rides. And I am still cooking. That being said, my cooking video quantity is going to decrease. My cooking videos are the ones that don't get the amount of views that my other videos get. So I'm going to decrease that a little bit. As I said before in that last video, was that I feel I've got a lot to offer as a chef and just some good down-home cooking recipes to share. And that's what I want to do. Another thing that came up in that video was about memberships and putting up a store to buy patches and stickers and stuff like that. I have been thinking about it pretty much non-stop ever since I made that video. And I've come to the conclusion that I'm just not going to. I just have a hard time telling you guys to spend your money to send it to me just to get a sticker or to get exclusive content and stuff like that. I just can't do it, guys. My channel is not going to be basically a branded channel. I've kind of always thought back in the back of my head that that's what I wanted. But the more and more I see from other channels and how YouTube is treating them, no, I don't want it. Whew. Told you it could get sunny out. Just breaks through every once in a while. It's amazing how the landscape changes once you get outside of town. All right, guys, I'm sorry. I went on a little bit of a tangent there and did a lot more complaining than I was expecting to do. But that is how I feel. But you know what? Let's not worry about that crap. My video is still going to be a free video channel. It doesn't have to cost you a thing. All I ask in return is to maybe watch the ads. You don't have to click on them. You don't have to do anything like that. But watch the ad, at least like 30 seconds of it. And then you can hit the skip button. Because that's how I get paid the most, is if people actually watch the ads. I think I see a bridge coming up here too. I was kind of hoping to maybe see a deer or two, but I think it's too late in the day for that. You know, most deer will be seen during the twilight hours, early morning, early evening. Yeah, I will say that this trail is a little softer and muddier than I was expecting it to be. I mean, you can see standing water all across the trail, and it's primarily because of these tire ruts going through the trail. That's where the water stands. It's just in those depressions. God, it's so nice. I've heard almost no birds. I went through one little area closer to town over by Deerfield. And there was just a lot of sparrows and stuff and some blue jays. But actually they weren't chirping too loud. But they were fluttering around from bush to bush and tree to tree. Again, guys, this is basically all I'm wanting from my channel, is to go out and do stuff. I want to be the do it type channel, not the let's sit down and talk about it channel. You know what? I could almost make this an entire bitch session. I've got so many things that I've been seeing on YouTube. I've seen video channels where people go out and do something. They go out for a long hike, you know, maybe cover 20 miles, a couple of overnights, or maybe even a motorcycle video where they go out and they travel for a week or so at a time. And they made some good content about that journey. And then the next 7, 8 videos are just talking about the gear that they had and what they used and what they could have left at home and their top 10 things about that trip, or the bottom 5 things that they didn't like about the trip. And I guess I just don't think that way. I want my content to always be where I'm out doing something, not talking about stuff. That's not to say that I don't talk about a few things here and there. For the most part, I'm just going to keep my channel, I guess I want to say an active channel, in the sense that I am being active on it. I'm not just going to be sitting in my backyard, sitting at my dining room table, sitting in the garage, telling stories, talking about gear, modifications to make on the bike. So, you know, that just sprung up another topic. I tell you, I could turn this whole talk into a bitch session. I was sitting there watching, trying to find good riding channels, hiking channels, people that are actually going out and doing things, and I found a few. But I came across a number of them. And it's like, how are you doing that? You know, there's this older gentleman, long white beard, mustache, you know, biker. He's got a couple of Harleys in the garage. Always says he's just come back from a ride or is getting ready to go out on a ride. And he starts telling a story. Something that he did years ago when he was a kid, or at least a lot younger. Maybe it was an encounter he had with a 1%er club, or something that went on with his motorcycle enthusiast club, you know, his hogs or whatever it was. And that's what his videos are. I've watched probably 5 or 6 of his videos, and I've looked around his channel, and I've never once actually seen him out riding. It's like, you know, that would be a cool story. Just jump on your bike and tell it. Don't sit there in the garage walking around. People keep on moving the camera around like this, you know, and they're turning around and going like that. That's hard to watch. Just get on your bike, have a camera pointing back at you and one off your helmet pointing out to the road, and tell me the story. That's all I ask. To me, it makes it a lot more interesting to listen to the story when you can change your visual and go riding down the road and stuff. That's what I like. Okay, got a road coming up here. I have no idea how long I've been walking. I passed an 8-mile mark back there, but of course I think that 8 miles is from the start in Cross Plains. Got a nice little spot over there. Nice beautiful barn and silos right over there. So quiet and peaceful. And man, I'm so glad I got here. I really needed to get out of the house and have this alone time. And you can see in the trail a couple of bicycle markings. So someone's been up and down this trail a few times on a bicycle. That's a nice, pretty open prairie area. I wonder if it used to be fields at one time. And I have to say that I've actually been quite depressed. Is depressed the right word? I don't know if that's the right word I want to use. Let down, maybe? On the wetness and slushiness of the trail as a whole so far, just on today's hike. I really thought that the water would have shut it off a lot better than it is. But again, it's because of all these tire marks, all these little ruts in the pathway. All right, coming up on Prairie Drive. I like it when the state does that. They put the name of the road on the post. That way, hikers, snowmobilists, bicycle riders, they know exactly where they're at. Yeah, get some more blue up in the sky up there. Granted, there's also some dark stuff, but God, I'm glad I came out here today. I really needed this, guys. I really did. Oh, I got one more thing to update you guys on. As I mentioned earlier, I have a problem asking you guys to subscribe to stuff and directly pay me money for, like I said, the memberships and the premieres and special thanks and super chats. But I started a Patreon account last year, or 2 years ago. And my Project 750 bobber build was the main focus of that. And I never really pushed the issue of asking people to join it. You know, I did it first and then I just kind of let it go. I had a couple people sign up and I appreciate that. But I haven't had the money to continue working on the bike, so I've made no progress. And people then have left the Patreon. So, oh, look at that deer. Oh, 3 doe. Sorry, girls, I didn't mean to scare ya. Huh. I think there's a little creek right over there. They must have been right by that little creek. Anyway, that was cool though. Anyway, I decided to even close down my Patreon. I don't have that anymore. So if you guys are interested in the 750 project bike build, I might start releasing the build videos here and there. But like I said, I've made no progress in it in probably over a year. Some of it had to do with, well, a lot of it had to do with that I ran out of funds. I need to buy gaskets and seals and compression rings, you know, for around the cylinder heads, the pistons. You know, I need all that stuff. You know, right now I just don't have the money to order it. I've got all the paint to paint it. I'm nervous about doing it because I've never used paint guns like that before. You know, I've never painted a car or anything. And so yeah, I'm just a little nervous on doing it. The other thing is that I got hit with a massive bout of depression. I'm still struggling through it. I think I made mention of it back in one of my rustic road videos a couple of years ago, that something happened that I actually deemed to be traumatic to the family, and I'm still struggling with it. So yeah, I've just got no drive and desire to continue making or continue working on the bike. I mean, I do. I think about it all the time. I need to get out. I need to do something. But I just don't. I don't get up off the couch. I don't get out there and work on it. But I'm hoping. You know, I've been slowly getting out of this funk. It's still there. I can still feel it. But I might start working on it again this year. Maybe I'll add a couple extra videos to that bike build. And I'll start releasing a few of them this year so y'all can see what I've been doing. So yeah, that's how far I'm going with the I don't want to ask you guys for money type situation. I really don't want to ask you guys for money. I really don't. I don't want memberships. I don't want the super chats. I don't want the Patreons. I have no other media channels. I don't do Pinterest. I don't do Instagram or whatever it's called, or Facebook and crap like that. I just don't do that stuff anymore. You know, there's no reason why I can't make my channel sustainable off of solely ad revenue. That's all I want. Now, the portion of trail I'm doing today is 3.5 miles to go from Deerfield to London. So, of course, I've got to turn around and walk 3.5 miles back. Nice little creek over there. I think it's just a drainage creek is all it is. Coming off of the fields over there. Coming out of this property over here. There's another cornfield over there. So yeah, I think that's just mostly a drainage ditch is all that is. Oh, lots of birds around here. See them all flying around over here. See blue jays and cardinals, finches and sparrows. Look at those old birch trees. Man, those things are big. I normally don't recall seeing birch trees that big. Usually they rot and decay rather quickly, but man, those trees are huge. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know nothing about plants and stuff. I'm trying to better myself by knowing and being able to identify a few here and there. But yeah, I don't recall. All right, see now this right here on the side of the tree, that looks like buckrub. But man, that's high up. I mean, really. I'm 6.5 feet tall, guys. That buckrub goes about 10 feet up. I don't see signs of claw marks or anything to say that it was a bear that shredded it or anything. But I mean, it's been rubbed. You can see all the stringy wood fibers there. Woodpeckers don't do that. Wow. Oh, that sun's coming out again. Yeah. I like that sun. Still seeing a little bit of a haze on the hills that are farther away. So the fog is still there, kind of, sort of, but it is slowly lifting. I bet it'll be pretty bright on my walk back to the car. Oh, nice. God, I'm glad I came out to do this today. And this is what I want to do with you guys. That's what my channel is about, is to encourage you guys to get out and go for that walk, go for that ride, and try new food. That's what my channel is all about. It's not about selling you guys stuff. You know, you don't need $300 shoes. I mean, you've seen the trail that I've been walking through today. It's been pretty wet. I don't have waterproof shoes. My feet are still dry. They're fairly warm. I'm just wearing blue jeans. I'm not wearing some fast-drying polyester convertible pants, which I do have, but I'm just not wearing them today. I don't have a synthetic shirt on. I don't have an expensive down jacket coat on. Sorry, I think I hit my microphone. Yeah, look at this. I have a Bob Ross t-shirt, a zip-up hoodie, and that's what I have for my gear. I've got a backpack that does have a secondary jacket in there, primarily because I didn't know if I was going to be cold or not. So I grabbed a second jacket just in case. I've got gloves that are falling apart. These are Army surplus gloves, wool. They're not merino wool, they're just regular wool gloves. A cotton knit beanie, just to keep my head and ears warm. Seriously, this is the extent of it. My pack is nothing elaborate. It's a kid's school backpack. You know, this is actually a backpack that my kids use to go to school. So you do not need a lot of expensive gear just to go out and go for a hike. And you don't need to go very far. I'm doing 3.5 miles today just to get to London, and I got to do 3.5 back. I'm not doing that to brag. Oh, look how far I can go. No. I'm not doing that at all. I'm doing this to show you guys what you can experience when you're out on these trails, what you might see, to give you encouragement to go out and find some. And they're all over the place. You just got to look for them. And if you're in a city, say you're in Chicago, New York, LA, you might actually be surprised at how many wilderness parks are in a city. Maybe you can go to those. Or just walk down the street. Walk to the corner. If that's all you can do, if that's all you can muster, get out and do it. And maybe it'll make you as happy as it makes me every time I come out. Whoa, that was a pheasant. That was cool. See, now that even brings up a story. And I was out doing a rustic road. This was years ago. And I had my GoPro with me. And I actually had it mounted up on top of my helmet. And kind of looked like a Teletubby. That's why I don't wear it on top of my helmet anymore. But I was sitting there, I thought I had the camera going, and I didn't. Pissed me off. But I was going down this little road at about 25 miles an hour. It was gravel. And all of a sudden a turkey came up out of the ditch and literally flew like 20 feet in front of me. Just with me. Just kept on flying, and then eventually it went up and over the trees and got out of the way. Man, to have a bird that size just right in front of you. That was so cool. And unfortunately, I didn't get the video of it. So Sadly, it's just a story, but it's one that always brings a smile to my face whenever I tell it. Lots of birds around here too. I've been down here in the puddle. There's a cardinal right over there. A bunch of sparrows up there. But they're not chirping. There goes another one right there. They're not chirping. They're not making a lot of noise. They're just flying around. Man, they're everywhere. I just keep seeing them flying around over there. Cool. All right, I'm on the outskirts of London, I think. I've just got a couple more roads to cross. Got all these tanker trailers sitting here. Got some concrete that was poured over here. Looks like it used to house maybe like a huge gas tanker or something. Maybe something to fill all these little tanker wagons with fertilizer and stuff like that. So, yeah, my hike is almost done. I've only got maybe a half a mile to go. All right, guys, here we are. We are in the little town of London. A big, huge shed barn that stretches all the way down to Spur Road down there. And I gotta tell you, with the exception of that little area, it's actually been quite dry ever since I crossed Spur Road. The ground's been a little bit firmer. Doesn't have all the squishiness, muddiness to the trail. This is actually really nice. Got a little bridge going over the culvert down there. I don't know. That might be a parking area for the trail. So I'll have to remember that. I'll have to see if I can come in here and park my vehicle there the next time I come to do the trail. This is trying to figure out the name of the road that's in front of me here. Holly Ridge, it looks like the name of it. I just want to get up to the front of the driveway here for that little spot and see if that's what it is a parking area. Because I don't know if there's parking that's allowed over here or not. Oh, yep, there it is. Sign right there saying trail parking. So when I continue the Glacial Drumlin Trail, I'll start here in London and I'll use that as my parking spot. And I'm going to call it quits right here. And now I've got 3.5 miles to get back to the car. God, that was a nice little trail. A little muddy, so that was a disappointment. You know, I really thought that the trail would drain off more than it did, but with all the two-wheeled vehicles and the snowmobiles that use it and stuff like that, they've really rutted the surface, and that's what's holding the water, are all those ruts. But it was still a nice walk anyway. It's been a fabulous day. It's getting sunnier and sunnier, so I'm going to get back to the car. You have a great day. Always believe you can go out and have your adventure, that you can go for that walk. Always believe it. Heart, soul, mind, body. Believe in yourself. Bye, guys. Hey guys, I am just coming back into a Deerfield. I'm by the semi place, and I literally just had about 15 deer come from over here and then go right across over here. I kid you not. And they went by so quick. I thought it was like the 3 doe that I saw earlier. So I just saw like 3 of them, then 3 more, then like 5 more, and then a couple more after that. And they all just went over here, and I don't know where they went. Well, now you know why they call it Deerfield.